Call to order. Meeting of the Butler County Commission, Butler County Commission. Please rise in the moment of silent prayer, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the public comment portion of our meeting provides residents and taxpayers of Butler County a reasonable opportunity to comment on matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which are or may be before the board prior to taking official action. Presentations must be limited to 3 minutes. The chairman has asked me to remind everyone that no personal attacks on the character or reputation of county employees, department heads, or any official will be tolerated. Any speaker doing so may be ruled out of order by the chair. I'll call the names in the order they appear on the sign-in sheet, and when you come to the podium, please state your name and municipality of residence. Sherry McKibben? Yes.
I'm Sherry McKibben, and I live here in Butler City. And actually I'm here today because I'm very concerned as a parent, as a grandparent, with the actions and basically the children in need services. And I know I've spoken to some of the commissioners already. And it is personal for me because I just don't think that any child in Butler County ever, or anywhere ever, actually should ever have to not have a safe place to lay their heads at night and to be able to wake up and be children every day. And I really want to know where we're going with this. I mean, I've heard people say, wait until January when the laws come into place. But does that mean that the children of Butler City right now have to be re-abused until these laws come into place to protect them? And what are we doing right now? Because I personally have seen where a child that I love wasn't even given a forensic interview. And that's not okay. These are children and they have no voice. And they're waiting for us, for me, for everybody in this room to be their voice. And I need to know from the people that we're trusting to look at the laws, to look at how we're spending our money, to look at the agencies that are involved. How are we going to protect these kids? And I have not had a good answer yet because January is too far away. For some of these kids, January is too far away. And what does it take? Is it a black eye, a broken bone? What more does it take for us to protect these kids that are in our city and in our county? Because it's not all right. It's not okay. I know I can protect myself and all of you can protect yourself if we were to be abused, attacked, or anything like that, but these kids can't. And they can't come to a commissioner's meeting and speak out. And they can't go to a court and be heard. And they're relying on us to be their voice now. And so I'm not going to be quiet about this. We have to have a good plan for our children in this county to be able to be safe and to be protected. And you know, I really like to see more is happening along the lines of, I think the new detective is a brilliant idea, personally. To have somebody who's going to oversee the abuse cases in this county is a beautiful idea. I think the new laws are amazing, and that's awesome, but what happens today? What happens today when a child is abused, and how many kids are going to be abused in this county that are going to be quiet? Because I know one who said she was made to lie. And that's, you know, that's not okay. One child is too many. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Manning?
Hi, my name is Mary Manning. I'm from the city of Butler. My grandson has been diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety disorders from what CYS has done to him. They put him back into his house where the parents were fighting. There was bloodshed. There was a dead body. This little boy was around a dead body for 10 hours, then locked into a closet. CYS broke the safety net plan. The caseworker felt the parents didn't have to finish anything else. And this little boy is paying the price. In fact, I even got a letter from the one CYS worker stating that the parents can come to my house and visit the kids under the influence. Sorry, we don't do drugs at my house. That's not going to happen. Here are 4 transcripts. All the mistakes the CYS worker made. I want answers. No one will tell me why this happened to my kids. CYS won't talk to me. Mr. Pinkerton, he did set up an interview for me with one of the workers from CYS, the assistant director. He had his lawyer in there. But Charlie Johns was not allowed to say a word to me. The lawyer prevented everything. I want to know why my 5-year-old grandson is diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety disorders. He will never lead a normal life. I want answers. I talk to you, no one gives me answers. DPW is reopening his case at least. And she told me the one caseworker is no longer with CYS anymore. What good's that? What good's that now? This child will never be the same. I see so many people come to me. There's so many other people suffering like my grandson did. CYS is working on the families. The families are fine. There's something happening between that. They need to get the families fixed, get the kids the help. I have referrals from doctors, early intervention. My grandson could have been saved. CYS worker wouldn't do it. I had them on a safety net plan. I had no rights. I was called a glorified babysitter from one of the CYS workers that's still here. It's in the court transcript. Anybody's free to see these. Ask me, I'll show all the paperwork. Nobody wants to listen to this little 5-year-old boy. What about justice for Evan? Here's Evan now. He looks like a normal boy. He can't play group sports. He can't do anything. Everything's private. Our life will never be the same. We have a TSS, a BSC, case managers, because CYS would not listen. The head of CYS never talked to me. I always got to Charlie Johns, and the lawyer, Dave Montgomery, would never let him talk to me. I had my lawyer there with me too. It was always about money. It's not about money. It's about saving this little boy and the other kids of Butler County. There's so many other stories out there. People come to me for help. I can't help them. Mr. Pinkerton, he made this attempt to help me. I thank you very much for that. He got me the interview set up. Nothing happened after that. CYS, you guys are ahead of CYS. You just oversee them. Can't you do something? I mean, they don't have to account to anybody. They do what they want. There's so many sexual assault cases out there. Not that, in fact, the funny part of this whole thing is the mother turned us in for abusing Evan. We had the CYS worker come to our house.
That's time. Thank you.
Matthew Depp.
My heart really goes out to you right there, and I would really like to see that stuff right there. I am involved with another group of people starting up something here in Butler County. We're going to have a web TV program whereby we should be able to go on TV and do such things. Yeah, nevertheless. All right, I'm here as a concerned citizen about a whole pile of things, especially with that little raucous of almost a display of cowardness that occurred in here last week right there. My God, a man came over here to speak out against what was done to him, what he considers to be unjust. And when a light shined, it was almost like rats scurrying. Gone. Don't want to hear nothing about it. That right there was disgraceful. As a sovereign citizen who elected you as my employees, I am ashamed of you. I am ashamed of you. How can you turn around and say you deserve the pay that you're getting when you run from somebody attempting to address you with an issue? And then that Goldinger comes in here, now he wants another detective. For that? Well, especially after last week, and what's he going to have? Another detective come in there so he could turn around, and after the one hospital says there's nothing there, go shop around to pay someone $1,300 for another report, so then he can offer them ARD so it'll be taken off their record in 1 year. That's the multitude of conditions he's about to attain through a new high-paying job he wants. And the guys that he has there right now are incapable. Their minds are too swamped. I lay money down before you. You put me in that position. I could probably handle all of the detective things that those guys are handling and most likely have impeachment articles filed with the state representative against various individuals who are functioning in this courthouse. It's time the people turn around and really start standing up to you people and informing you. And it's time you recognize your place. You ain't my worshipful master, 33rd degree man grand master. As far as I'm concerned, that homo lodge down the street needs to stay out of politics and policies here in this county.
Out of order, sir.
Wait a minute, point of order.
Point of order.
You called him Brother Solicitor last
Yeah,
week.
brother
and he brought it
solicitor,
up.
brother
He brought it up,
cameraman,
and
brother
now you're calling
DA,
out of
brother
order.
sleuth.
You're the one that brought it up. Why is he out of
Sir.
order?
He's attacking an organization, he's attacking people. It has nothing to do with the issues in this.
Oh, I
What's that
suppose
sound?
Sir, you're out of order.
start coming in here saying,
Pat,
oh,
Sheriff,
Thanks.
James Exton.
Your 3 minutes weren't up.
Jim Eckstein, Butler Township. After watching the November 5th, 2014 public meeting on YouTube, I came to the realization I have one of the best jobs in government. I don't have to wear a tie. I don't have to work a set shift. I don't have to pander to a department head or an elected official to keep my job. I can only get fired once every 4 years. God only knows how hard McCary and Pickering have tried to move that date forward. If I had to squirm, pander, and cajole like one I know here to keep their $90,000 per year job for working 35 hours per week with a defined pension and Cadillac health care, my life would be just miserable. Yet as we witnessed on camera last week, it's all in a day's work to many around here. My morality, integrity, honesty, and belief in our Constitution and our democratic republic made me who I am. The fact I see so many leaders in government lacking these core values shows me how fortunate I am. A few examples of pandering from the meeting last week. A department head came up to Solicitor English, and I believe told English I was revealing confidential state report. That was total fabrication. And the person that made the claim was one of the 4 individuals I was exposing. Imagine that. English then gave the cut sign, and the cover-up was on. McCarrier then blatantly maligned and degraded our Constitution, which he took an oath to protect. On camera in a public meeting we did. He ordered our press to cease and desist. We had an experienced reporter and a volunteer cameraman that did not capitulate. McCarrier made the same mistake autocrats and dictators around the world make. They know they are above the law. They have the power and they are entitled. McCarrier's actions were a disgrace to our Constitution, yet the film and the press exposed his actions to the public. The only wrongdoing perpetrated at last week's meeting were those in desperate need to retain power. Last but not least, the lowest trick the commissioners and solicitor played, they adjourned the meeting at 10 o'clock and reconvened at 2, knowing they blatantly violated my civil rights and free speech. Their plan of attack was give me my rights back, along with the other speakers, then dismantle my county webpage, videotape public meetings, and text to dismantle the troops of the taxpayers. I believe the solicitor fashioned this plan because he is by far the smartest of the 3 musketeers. He worships his county pay and benefits. What an honor it is to me to be your commissioner. I get to keep my morality, integrity, respect, and love of the Constitution for those who have sacrificed to retain our freedom. McCary and Pickering have their power, money, and control. I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. Thank you very much, James Eckstein.
Peggy Abersol.
Morning. Peggy Abersol, Middlesex Township. The Board of Commissioners approved this Saturday, November 22nd, our Parks and Recreation Department will host a flashlight candy cane hunt. It would be part of the Light Up Night at Alameda Park. The band, Divine Ridge, will lead everyone in singing. The event will be held at the Carousel Shelter starting at 6:30. Pre-registration is required and the cost is $7. Come out and enjoy Light Up Night. Butler County's budget contains contributions for the Community Development Corporation. One of the CDC's responsibilities is economic development. Another way Butler County's economy is stimulated is through the many small businesses who provide jobs, products, services, and a tax base for the community. Saturday, November 29, 2014 is Small Business Saturday. It's your opportunity to support your local businesses, which are the economic background of your local community. Without a local economy, there is no county, state, or national economy. In May of 2013, the Butler County Commissioners supported the kickoff of the Adoptive Bike Program through Variety Pittsburgh, the children's charity. Variety provides children with disabilities unique programs, experiences, and equipment so that they may live life to the fullest. Because of this program, the bikes provide kids with freedom, independence, belonging, and the chance to simply have fun and be a kid. Remember how you felt when you were a kid getting your first bite. Variety has made this same feeling come true for those children with disabilities. Variety is seeking to identify 250 eligible children with disabilities for the My Bike program. If you know a child or a family with a child who might be eligible for one of the adaptive bikes through Variety's program, please call Variety's main office at 724-933-0460. Again, that number is 724-933-0460. Since Christmas is right around the corner, putting a bike under the tree would make a dream come true. Thank you.
Mark Krenetsky.
Morning, Commissioner. An interesting morning. That sort of word is probably as long as we've had. I'm the type of salary board. I'm so disappointed because of the eliminations of the positions. Commissioner McCarrier's and Commissioner Eckstein's proposals, to me, are almost identical, and we couldn't come to an agreement on them. They're a little bit different, correct. Yours would save more money. I agree. I like yours better. I like Commissioner McCarrier's better of the two. So I'm hoping we do come to an agreement there, that we can. Really do. I'd like to see something happen there. Because I think Commissioner McCarrier said we save about $100,000 a year. That's a nice savings, it really is. Also, I saw the 2% raise for the county employees didn't pass. I don't know if that doesn't mean they don't get a raise. You know, in the past I've said do 1.5% across the board. I know there's some disagreements on only giving the raise to certain employees, but I would say just give a 1.5% raise. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. I know you got a tough job.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark, I'd like to say this. Hope Springs Eternal for me, that current switchboard operator, the courts gave her a job, they gave her a job. They didn't go through the union bidding process. They appointed her that she has a job in the middle of December. And Hope Springs Eternal, we can leave that position vacant. Okay, that Lori Altman, if we leave a position there, they can fill it and not go through the commissioners, okay? So Hope Springs Eternal with me that Lori Altman will leave that position vacant so that they don't have to watch the phone system work, okay? So let's hope that happens. Thank you, Mark, for coming.
Jeffrey Thompson.
Jeffrey Thompson, Buffalo Township. I'm a veteran and a life member of the Disabled American Veterans. After the Veterans Day Parade of 2012, the local Disabled American Veterans passed a resolution to address the behavior of one of our elected officials, Commissioner Eckstein. We read that resolution here at the Commissioners' meeting just before the Memorial Day Parade of 2013 in the hope that he would stop, and he hasn't. And I'm glad that you mentioned the Constitution and the First Amendment today. Veterans served and fought to defend and protect our God-given right of freedom of speech. However, just because particular words, speech, or actions are legal under the Constitution does not mean they are proper or in good taste. While it is legal to exercise of free speech, to burn or desecrate the United States flag, to utter a slur against a person based on race or gender, to use profanity in front of school children, or to discuss child abuse cases in a public meeting, most people with good manners find it offensive and insulting. We agree that it is a legal exercise of free speech to offend and insult veterans. We just think that most people with good manners would not do so at events that are held to honor veterans. The people of Butler come to the parades to thank the veterans. And while it is a legal exercise of free speech to hijack that captive and unsuspecting audience in order to push one's own agenda, many people with good manners find it offensive and insulting. And speaking for the hundreds of members of the Butler chapter of the DAV, and for perhaps many of the 18,000 veterans of Butler County, we find Mr. Eckstein's behavior at veterans events to be disrespectful, offensive, and insulting to our departed heroes, to veterans living and dead, and to our active duty military personnel. This is not personal or political. We veterans sincerely appreciate when government officials of any party attend veterans events. We are just asking that you stop using those events for your own political purposes. I will again read our resolution of December 2012. Be it resolved that the General Butler Chapter 64 of the DAV hereby condemns the behavior of any government or political person who distributes political literature or otherwise engages in political activity before, during, or immediately after the Memorial Day Parade, Veterans Day Parade, or any other function organized for the purpose of honoring deceased or living veterans or active duty military personnel. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'd like to respond to that. Okay, with all due respect to this gentleman, it is political. It's absolutely political, okay? I worked with A.B. Abraham on the Save Our Hospital came in the Merchant Marines. I didn't get one complaint, not one complaint, when I did Save Our Hospital and the Merchant Marines getting them a monument in Diamond Park. Now I went out and gave out flyers, I'm gonna do it again. They can just, that is their right. He had the right to come up and say that today. Now you make sure this, I was on a public sidewalk, I quit 10 minutes before the parade out of respect. When I did that with A.B. Abraham, if anybody doesn't know who he is, he worked with me on those campaigns. A lot of the veterans hated him, or hated that premise of giving the Merchant Marines a monument in Diamond Park too. Lots hated that, and they had the right to free speech to say that. But for him to come up here and say that I can't give out flyers on a public sidewalk in a city street, A.B. Abraham disagreed with him. He was in a Bataan Death March. He was working to retrieve dead bodies in the Philippines for 2 years after the war was over, so they could have, those veterans could be memorialized. Well, I'll tell you what makes my decision. I'm going with A.B. I don't care if he's deceased or not. He gave me the permission, we did it together, and I'm sticking with A.B. A lot of these veterans didn't even serve overseas or in tours of duties. Well, A.B. did. He was in prison camp. He did the Bataan Death March. He lived through it. He made the sacrifice. I worked with him on it. If these gentlemen for the VA, they can, or whoever association he represents, the last time they voted on this, I think there was 10, 20, 30 people at the meeting. So what? There's 185,000 people in Butler County. I will continue to do it. The veterans that died and the ones that served for us gave me the right to do it, and it does not bother me that he doesn't like it. I quit 10 minutes before the parade. If it's not political, why didn't he bring this up? I'm glad Mike's timing that because he didn't time you too well last week. No, he didn't shut you down. At 2 minutes, it was 2:05.
All right, let's continue. Anybody else, Amy?
That's all for public comments, sir.
We have minutes from November 3rd and November 5th.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second to the motion? I'll second it. Discussion?
Yeah, the discussion, it seems like the minutes. I just can't get over how they articulated what Mike English's stance was in the minutes on reconvening the meeting. No, it's just amazing. They articulate, boy, usually they just write one little line there and say, oh, they just made that, look at all that print. So they did that, but when it came to doing me, they didn't do a very good job at all. I guess I'm not going to ask you two guys to vote on not treating me unfairly, because that would be a very unlikely thing to pass. Okay, so you two guys just pass this. But it is truly amazing how the minutes, I think they're doctored. Basically you didn't really write what I said, but Mike's just done, just can't think it's their job there. So thank you very much, okay?
Well, in response to that, Mike's statement was a little bit different than just the average person talking or bringing up business. We were discussing some very sensitive issues last week, or you were. And I thought it was very important that Mike's statement be part of the minutes because it stated the position of the commissioners that we were not the Board of Commissioners was not the ones who were exposing the confidential information of children and youth. That was you.
I'd like to respond to that.
All right.
I didn't, you just fabricated that again. I didn't do any confidential information. I'd like you to go to the press and tell them what the confidential information was. That, I guarantee you, anybody that's going to get charged, I did it on tape, and I'm going to get charged any day because he keeps saying I did it, but there's no proof that my innocence is a fact. It's on tape. They can't say that I did it when I didn't do it. Why don't you give to the press? There's the press, I'm sure he'll wait tomorrow. Why don't you provide him with all this illegal stuff I did? I mean, if the DA's gonna press charges or whoever the state, I'm certainly sure you've called them already and they're gonna come against me. But the only thing is, I crossed the T's and dotted the I's. I made sure I didn't do it. Okay, you keep saying it, I did it, but it doesn't make it true. Those are fabrications.
Those in favor of approving the minutes as printed, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
The minutes are approved. Proclamations?
None today, sir.
New business?
New business. Under Court Administration, Tom Holden has asked me to present this on his behalf. He's asking permission to make application to the Staunton Farms Foundation for $125,000 as startup costs for mental health court. He asks your approval.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Next, under Facilities and Operations, John Campbell.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, John.
Today I'd like your approval of entering into a contract with Simplex Grinnell for the fire extinguisher annual testing at $2.99 per fire extinguisher for a total of $577.32. This is approximately 188 fire extinguishers. Sometimes our numbers vary, you know, if we add one or we delete one. And there is an attached price list that goes with this.
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
I'm sorry, sir, excuse me, who made the motion?
Aye. Gail made the
Thank you.
motion.
You did not hear, thank you. Next, under Conservation District, Ron Forder has come forward to ask Butler County Conservation District, the Conservation District is seeking the board's support of David L. and Michael D. Burgoon's donation to Butler County of a conservation easement on parcels number 080-3F35-5 and 70-3F35-B4. These are approximately 75.95 acres. And along with this support, they would like authorization for the county to pay $1 consideration for this donation.
Is there a motion to
I'll
accept
make the
this?
motion.
Is there a second?
second.
I would like to say a few words before we vote on this. This is a very generous donation on the part of Dave and Mike. It's a beautiful farm, I'm very familiar with it, and I think they're doing a wonderful thing for Butler County to make sure this is preserved. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, under Human Services, Area Agency on Aging, Beth Harold.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning, Beth.
This morning I have two motions to bring before you. The first is that we're requesting the board's approval for a contract between the Area Agency on Aging and the United Way of Butler County to disperse $30,000 in our block grant funding for heating and fuel assistance to the older adults of Butler County. The contract term would be November 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015, and there are no county funds involved in this.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
The second item is we're requesting the board's approval for a lease between the Area Agency on Aging and Mount Chestnut Presbyterian Church for our senior center that's held there 2 days per week. The term of this lease is December 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015, with an automatic renewal on a monthly basis. The payment will be $275 a month, and there are no county funds involved.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
The one thing about the heating assistance, if there's any individuals in Butler County age 60 or older that would have heating assistance needs, they can call 211 or CCR to see if they would be qualified for any of these funds that were going to be put towards fuel assistance.
Thank you, Beth.
Just thought I'd bring it up since the
Yeah,
letter is so
thanks for
cold.
bringing that up. Why don't you state that thing one more time? I really think that's important.
If any individuals in Butler County, age 60 or over, are having issues with heating or deliverable fuel costs, they can call 211 or CCR for assistance and to be evaluated to see if we can assist them with those costs that are occurring, especially since it's gotten so cold so early this year.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Next, under Human Services, Children and Youth, Joyce Ainsworth.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am just simply here to ask your approval for a reappointment of Angela Schmerk to the Children and Youth Advisory Board for a 3-year term.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the
Is there a
motion.
second?
I'll second that.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Human Services, we have a presentation by Amy Peters on Healthy PA, Pennsylvania's program to expand Medicaid, and it's to increase public awareness on the initiative. Amy?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Amy.
I have a prepared statement, so I don't miss any details. I'd like to spend just a few minutes telling you of the pending changes to the Medicaid program here in Pennsylvania. We're attempting to limit the confusion around the changes and give people the assistance needed so they can navigate these changes. Healthy PA is the name of the plan to expand medical assistance under the Affordable Care Act. The plan consists of expanding the income limits for adults ages 19 to 64 to 138% of the federal poverty level, which could possibly increase medical assistance enrollment by 600,000 Pennsylvanians. Open enrollment begins December 1st, and the activation date for the coverage is January 1st, 2015. Current Medicaid recipients are going to be categorized into either a Healthy Plus plan or a Healthy plan. So I want to stress that current Medicaid recipients, okay? The benefit package that they'll be placed in is going to be contingent upon past need and the utilization of services that they had in previous years. People newly eligible may be placed in those categories that I just referred to, or they will have to choose a private care option. And there are 6 private care options here in Butler County. Among those are Vista, UPMC, Aetna Better Health, and there are several others. Letters have been sent to the Medicaid recipients informing them of the package they've been placed in and the benefits associated with the health care plan. I'd like to make people aware that if they feel they were not placed in the correct plan, okay, this is key, or they need assistance in enrolling in Healthy PA, we can help you. Okay? The Center for Community Resources has people available to answer questions about Healthy PA, and that phone number is 724-431-3748. Or there's a statewide telephone number, Healthy PA Consumer Service Center, and it's 1-844-290-3448. And we've also developed some marketing materials that you'll see around the community outlining this information. There's going to be some things in the newspaper so that we can make sure people get the help they need in order to navigate these changes. Are there any questions?
Can you repeat the 2 phone numbers slowly so people can write them, because I'm sure they're running
Sure.
for a pen.
Okay, the first one is the Center for Community Resources, CCR, and it's the phone number 724-431-3748. The other phone number is the statewide hotline, if you will, for Healthy PA, and it's 1-844-290-3448, and those will be the phone numbers that are on the marketing materials.
Thanks, Amy, you do a great job.
Amy, I have a question.
Yes.
For those, and I'm not positive about this myself, is Healthy PA the governor's basically for the PA's Obamacare?
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure of that because states can pick their own and initiate their own. So this is Healthy PA Pennsylvania is the Obamacare, it's a version of Obamacare.
Yes.
And open enrollment started like last week, right?
Right, and it goes all the way through, actually enrollment doesn't begin until December 1st. And then activation will be, well, that's for the newly eligibles. If you currently have medical assistance, you're going to be getting a letter specifying what category you went into. And that's really kind of who we're targeting, because we want to make sure people get in the accurate category. Because if you don't get in the right category, your services may be affected. That's all health plans are, cover different things.
And CCR is about a block down from the old courthouse on Main Street.
That's right.
Yeah, if you go a block down so people know where it's a block down on Main Street. If you're going north from the courthouse, it's on the left-hand side.
That's right, it's right next to the Holly Point building.
And they'll help people work, navigate the system.
Yes, and you can call them, you can stop in. All of their staff has been trained to answer questions, and they're kind of like the local experts on Healthy PA at this point.
That's wonderful. Thanks for telling me that.
Okay, thank you, have a good day.
First item under Commissioners, we're asking for approval of the renewal of the county health insurance with Highmark with revised co-payments known as option 7 on the attachment to the agenda, with a 10% increase to premium cost in 2016. Non-union employees shall pay 10% of the premium cost for health and prescription drug coverage if they select the current Highmark PPO plan, and 5% of the premium cost for health and prescription drug coverage if they select the Highmark Blue Flex plan. Non-union employees will pay 10% of the cost of vision and dental insurance. The current 1% or 1.5% payroll deduction for health, dental, and vision coverage shall be eliminated for non-union employees. Union employees' contributions toward health insurance costs and other terms and conditions of health care coverage shall remain at the status quo pending the outcome of negotiations, and these actions shall become effective January 1st, 2015. We ask your approval.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? I'll second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we're asking your approval of renewal of the county's dental insurance with United Concordia. Again, that's detailed on the attachment to your agenda. This is for 2015, and there are no change in the rates from 2014. We ask your approval.
Is there a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye. Aye.
I'll be lying on that, I'm sorry.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we're asking your approval to issue a solicitation for bids for the county's NCR paper forms. We ask your approval.
I'll make the motion. Is there a second? I will second it. Discussion?
Yeah, discussion, Mike, are we dividing up that contract or hand selecting, or I thought we were gonna put that out for bids, or?
It is going out for bids.
Huh?
It is going out for bids.
That's what this is.
The total contract, or just?
No, just this portion of it.
This is a part of our current contract we can't supply to grade D.
Right, so we're rebidding it.
So we have to rebid it.
Okay, I mean, just double check on this. I mean, obviously, it's on here, you looked at it, it's legal.
Oh, yes, it's always legal to bid something. Actually, this will probably be less than the threshold necessary to bid.
No,
But it's always legal to bid something.
no, but if you started, me and I both know that it's illegal to divide up contracts.
It's illegal to divide up contracts to get it below the bid threshold.
Okay.
It's illegal to divide them to avoid bidding.
Okay, okay, thanks, Mike.
Sure.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Last item, we'd like your approval of the public meeting dates for 2015, including legal advertisement of the schedule. And we have your approval.
I'll make the motion. Is there a second? I'll second it. Discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, that's all for new business.
Motion to approve the budgetary transfers.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion? Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the new hires?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion to approve the travel requests.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the requisitions?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the check register?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Caleb,
No questions again.
Tom,
Just one, Mike, do you know, is there a legal issue for a court appointment not posting a union position?
The courts have always exercised their rights under section 1620 of the county code to hire at their discretion, and I don't believe it's ever been contested by the union.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have.
is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second
Those in favor?
it. Aye.
We adjourn.